Welcome to World Chefs Podcast. I'm your host, Ragnar, and you're listening to World on a Plate. Today, I'm very excited to welcome our guest, Evi Chioti, originally from Cyprus. Evi is an acclaimed chef and educator and an advocate for sustainable gastronomy that we'll be talking about. So in 2022, she became the first woman to be awarded the prestigious Ambassador of Taste for the Global Gastronomy Gold Medal. And also, she received a second place in the Life Climate Smart Chef Award in the category of sustainable recipes. And we will hear more about that. That's really interesting. Her work bridges culinary traditions and modern techniques. Evi shares her passion for promoting sustainable food practices and the heritage of Mediterranean cuisine, where she comes from. So Evi is a co-owner of a restaurant in Cyprus, La Maison Fleurie, and also a jury member with the International Taste Institution, a member of the Academie Culinaire de France. And so with no further ado, Evi, I want to welcome you on the show. How are you doing?
I'm very fine. I'm very well. Good day, everyone. And thank you, Ragnar and World Chefs on a Plate for this invitation. It's a great chance to be with you today.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for taking time to be with us. We're really interested in your sustainability approaches. It's really something that a topic that is close to our hearts. But let's start before we go into that. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about sort of how you got drawn into the cuisine and your career.
Well, just actually, it was luck and family circumstances. My first studies was in financial and business. And on the parallel, my family was activated on the hospitality sector. And the opening of a fine dining restaurant was the dream of my father. So I firstly was involved in the establishing and the management of the enterprise. My culinary journey started in a second stage, since I was gradually getting passionate with the creative side of the business. As a person, I'm the kind that I get very devoted since I get a decision. So this is, of course, a lifetime decision since gastronomy never ends, as you know.
Mm.
So once I got involved, I really developed on this. I never left it, and it's something I will carry through all my life.
Absolutely. And also, you are a very active member of the Cyprus Chef Association. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your involvement in the Chef Association and what that sort of the importance of that for you.
Cyprus Chefs Association is active, is an association active for more than 30 years in Cyprus.
Mm.
And of course, it's the official member of the World Chefs running the national teams on the Culinary Olympics. It is an association very active outdoors, but also indoors. By supporting and educating the chefs and the young professionals, organizing many events and competitions, and of course promoting our local gastronomy culture to public and the next generations.
Mm.
I was involved firstly as a member of the certified judges and much more actively the last 2 years between 21 and 23, undertaking the position of vice president. I was responsible for the educational sector of the association. It was a sector that newly developed, and we managed to establish a strong background by organizing seminars that were financed in a big part from national funded programs. This co-financing could give us the chance to have a bigger budget for delivering higher quality and charging less fees for the participants. Of course, organizing these kind of seminars required a very demanding preparation and responsibility, since proposals are under thorough approval, and final evaluation. So we achieved to open many tasks and cooperate with very esteemed professionals. But my directions was the market demands on the skills and the market trends, but also a deeper knowledge of the Mediterranean gastronomy. Cyprus gastronomy heritage on products and techniques, for example, preservation techniques, fermentation, etc., tastings, regional cuisines of the area of the Mediterranean Sea. So this was some of the topics we developed, and we had very good, very nice, esteemed chefs to show us their expertise.
That's a great inspiration for to show how an association can bring value to their chefs. We often hear that chefs are busy around the world, not having time to be involved in the association, the life of the association, and often like young people asking, "So what is in it for me? Why should I be a member?" So are you seeing
Yeah.
that there was a good, you were received well by the chefs in Cyprus? You had a good audience, a number of people, and good membership?
This is true. It's true that we targeted our market actually. I tried to have a balance between the theory and the practical and the practice, and we always usually these seminars were for 2 days, lasting 2 days, so it was long seminars, but we were adding also tastings, stories about the certain food and the certain dishes, the presentation of the dishes. So we tried to reach all the topics that the chef could be interested and get involved. So it was a kind of interaction. So we were learning also from the audience. So I believe what teaching and showing of things it's something that you have to improve all the time. So you have to give and take, and it's important to understand it like this.
Mm, mm. And also a very good example you give there is how you finance the seminars. You bring value to the chefs in the country, but you work closely with the government. I don't know. So can you tell us more about that? What's like for other who might be looking into financing through government programs in Cyprus in particular? So who would you be working with in what ministry or is that?
Is it is some programs that is the Ministry of Employment Ministry that we could work with them. They have a budget for educational seminars, but these really, as I said, needs a lot of a lot of good. You have to have very good.
You have to fill out applications
Exactly.
and be targeted towards. So maybe like for a chef association is to start to explore what sort of programs the government is targeting and see how to adapt that to the activity of the association to get funding. Huh?
Exactly. I believe that in many countries you have these opportunities, but you have to start really cooperating with them and persuading that we have these needs. Actually, they must understand the needs of the market, because sometimes it's not so easy to explain what is important and what is not so important. So it needs to have an action plan to deliver the knowledge that it's important for the chefs, but also bring bring the financing as because chefs, okay, they don't have the time, but sometimes they don't want to spend a lot for this. So it's very important if you support them. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they also get the certificates, that is national certificates, even for these small courses, that is very important for their career, for their CV. It's not only the approval of the association, but also it's national. So it's very important.
Very
Yeah,
good.
supports a lot, yes.
Yeah. And so like just like transitioning from there and the learning and I know that well talk more about sustainable gastronomy. Well, and your role in educating on sustainable gastronomy. Well, actually, we met last year. I mentioned earlier where you were second place in the Life Climate Smart Chef Awards in the category of sustainable recipes. And so just to go and dig deeper into the sustainable education and sustainability in the kitchens. So can you tell us a little bit more about your approach to sustainable gastronomy and so what was your idea behind the recipe competition and
Well, I took part in this program it was a program, a theoretical program that was online for about 2 months, and then we were present in Alma University to do the practical part and meet all the rest of the people who were in the program. Actually, it was very interesting. It was very informing and. Really gives us the knowledge that we need to have, let's say, a full and a proper uh, proceed in the right way on the matter of sustainability, because we hear really a lot about sustainability, but you really have to understand what is the main topics that you have to work on it to have the proper results for sustainable gastronomy. So this program could reach this. It was very proper and really very interactive for the chefs who took part, and it was also a lot of fun and very interesting. So it was very important for me. So actually, in the end, when there was this competition, I prepared a plate that was a very low carbon recipe, and also nice, tasty, with nice presentation. So it was the second prize, took the second prize. The whole thing was really very good. Created a beautiful community of chefs where we can collaborate today, communicate. So it was a very nice startup for this matter that is very interesting for me and also for you, as I know.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your recipe? So what you said low carbon. So what was the recipe just in a few?
So I used a vegetable that we have in Cyprus. It's a vegetable. It is like a taro vegetable. It is called kolokasi in Cyprus, which is it's a simple vegetable, not expensive, which very nutritional. It was cooked a little bit different than the traditional way, presented mainly different. And I used all the juices I use for cooking, for doing the sauces, and using also some more. I used cherries. I used some other ingredients that it was seasonal at that time, to create the sauces and the sauce and the decorations of the plate. Uh, yeah, mainly that's
Excellent, yeah.
it was.
And so yeah, so you were very much involved in the Life Climate Smart Chefs, and well, actually, we have a very good news on that because well, the program you were participating in finished, and well, Chef, we are a partner in the second stage of the program, so we're going to be managing this from October and forward. We just got that great news, so through the European Union funding. And so the
Good.
program will continue. Program will continue with World Chefs this time, and so we'll be looking forward to reaching out to all the chefs to be involved. Can you tell us a little bit more about the one you were participating in? What typical activities were you doing? You said it was interactive. What typically can the chef expect from the Live Smart Chef?
Well, it was while it was the online courses, we had discussions, we had some activities to do online. That it was it was interactive because it wasn't mainly theoretical. Of course, the theory was very interesting. It showed off the Mediterranean cuisine, also the Scandinavian approach on the sustainable gastronomy, and also the tool to measure the carbon print on the recipes, which was the Nutritics tool, and it was not difficult to use it, but you need you need some examples, and you need to work on it to understand it better.
Mm,
But it was not really difficult to use it, so it was very useful afterwards. And I believe it's very useful for the restaurants and for the menus to use this tool to have the show of the carbon print of their recipes.
mm,
So after this, we had this meeting in Alma, and it was a very good uh, actually it was more practical. It was more like a presentation of the profits we have using the Mediterranean diet, and guided from using the local products and the fresh products, and the preservation methods that we have in the Mediterranean cuisine. And of course, Italy is a very big part of it, so which we could see their products, and it was a lot of fun also on the meeting people there, chefs there, the school of Alma, and the students, and the work they do there.
mm, exactly. And as I said, we met at the Live Climate Smart Chef Awards, where World Chef also got a second place for our programs, and we're extremely happy, well, to have been there. And I saw all the dynamic in the room. We
Yes, exactly.
all the winners of the different categories were there, and there was so many ideas. There was so much synergy, and it was really a great atmosphere. And so yeah, we are so happy to be continuing the program. And
I'm happy to hear this too.
yeah,
Yes,
it's great news.
really.
It's very new, recently announced, and so we are really happy about that. And so you were involved in the first round, and so we definitely hope that you will be involved in the second round when we start working on this in October. I
Thank
mean,
you.
what do you think is the role of the chefs? What role do they play in influencing the public of understanding sustainable food systems? Why should they be participating in this program?
Well, chefs are influencers. So actually, they are the modern rock superstars. They can play a pivotal role in influencing public understanding of sustainable food gastronomy in several ways.
Mm,
Mainly, let's say, the education sector. They often share their knowledge, teaching their audiences about the importance of sourcing the local ingredients, reducing food waste, and understanding the seasonal produce. Also, on the sector of innovation, by creatively incorporating ingredients and techniques into their menus, chefs can showcase how delicious and appealing sustainable food can be. They can show off the eco-friendly options, let's say,
mm.
of their recipes. Uh,
So,
they also, yeah,
no, go
uh,
ahead, sorry.
chefs has a visibility. They have a platform. They always have a platform to which allows them to reach a big, wide audience. So their endorsements, their practices can affect the consumer behavior, which is very important because it's not only serving our clients, but is the big image, which is the consumer, which is very important. Um, eh, Also, consumer behavior is a little bit changed the last 30, 40 years. It's a little bit destroyed, let's say, in a way. So with the fast food and the artificial taste, flavors, and so we have to come back to authenticity, which is very important. So chefs can lead this information.
Mm.
Mhm.
I mean, you've been an advocate for sustainable cuisine for a long time now. Do you have any advice for chefs around the world How do you become an advocate of sustainable gastronomy? How do you get your voice heard? How did you start, and how can you make an impact?
Yeah, okay. Well, you have to do it, let's say, in every step you're showing your work, but also publicly, let's say, in some different actions that mainly has to do with consumers, but also let's say let's start from the menu. Some a chef organizes, which is very important to start from the beginning because food waste is we cannot solve the food waste in the end. So we must have no food waste. We have to start much earlier from the beginning. So from our menu, from how we buy, what we buy, how we buy our materials. So it's a very very big section. And firstly, they must have the knowledge, the right knowledge, and then they have to see how they can apply in their own business, in their own sector, how to apply this with their colleagues and in their restaurants, in their hotels they're working, or in their community, let's say at schools, young people, generations, especially young generations of chefs, but also consumers. So there are different tools to use. They must have an action plan into their business, into their kitchen, how they will organize their menu, the materials they buy, the products they buy, how they treat them, and the food waste should be in the end. So it's a lot of work before let's say before the waste bin. So
Mhm.
they must have a lot of preparation and they need the knowledge for this.
Mm.
Because actually about food waste, many people speak about sustainability, but there must be a plan to reach this point today. So we need the knowledge for this, the right knowledge for this.
Yeah, and to point out, in that case, I recommend to all those who are listening, if they haven't been through World Chef Sustainability Education, we have a free of charge sustainability education online. If people want to check it out, it's now in English and Arabic and soon in Spanish. We're still translating into other languages, and if people want to be uh, sort of how to say champions in their own country, then we can actually assist them and provide the teaching material for sustainability education that they can then adapt to the local conditions and teach others in their country to become real sustainability heroes in their country and advocates for sustainability. And so I just wanted to mention that, and that's
Yes, yes, sure, sure. I agree, totally agree. I know the program. It's very interesting. It supports a lot. It's very important to, and they can watch on their time. It's online. They can stop and start again, which is can adapt their time schedule for this. So it's very important. So.
Mhm.
And it gives the proper base for sustainable working on the sustainability.
Exactly.
And I believe, of course, it's very important to adjust their sustainable methods, let's say, or a strategy into their area and to their and the ability they have where they're working. So it's, let's say, for us here, we are trying to adjust the program for the chefs and for the people who want to learn about this on the Mediterranean area diet, because it's our area and it's easier for us to go back on our cultural heritage, I say, gastronomic heritage, which was by definition sustainable. So we just have to learn from this and see how our ancestors used to preserve food and create new recipes by preserving every piece of the production. So it's important to remember, see how we can adapt these recipes in today's dishes and be creative again in another way, but be mainly sustainable, because it's also very tasty to do this. Let's say from a certain ingredient, they used to prepare different recipes for using the whole product. So all these recipes were very tasty, but also some new recipes were preserving the product for a long time. So it was a new recipe in a way, a new way to treat this product. So it's
Yeah, no, actually, and you touched base on something very important, which is the local cuisine, and in your case, the Mediterranean cuisine. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about, what makes Mediterranean cuisine different or special, and sort of what is the demystify Mediterranean cuisine for me.
So we are focusing on the Mediterranean cuisine and Mediterranean diet to adapt sustainable gastronomy into our area. And we do this because we know Mediterranean diet is it's sustainable by definition, actually. So and for many reasons, the Mediterranean diet emphasizes on fruits, vegetables, olive oil, nuts, whole grains, which have a lower environmental footprint compared to animal foods. Plant-based foods generally require less land, water, and energy to produce them. Includes, as I said, less meat and animal consumption. There are some certain animal products such as fish, poultry, and dairy products, but it requires moderate consumption on these species compared to diets that really they rely heavily on the red meat. Reducing meat intake can help reduce the environmental impacts associated with animal production, including the greenhouse gas emissions and deforestation. So emphasizes local and seasonal ingredients. That is, it's very important. You meet a lot in the Mediterranean diet. Promotes the use of local and seasonal ingredients. This approach reduces the carbon footprint, which is associated with the transportations and the storage of food. It also supports local farmers and reduces dependence on long distance food supply chains. The Mediterranean region is known for its rich biodiversity, which translates into a wide variety of ingredients available for culinary purposes. This wide range of plants and animals supports the ecological balance and helps to preserve local ecosystems, let's say using fewer pesticides, which is it's a problem of the product today. Also, we have cooking methods are very interesting in the Mediterranean cuisine, that they're very sustainable. Let's say traditional practices using on the Mediterranean gastronomy is often based on traditional cooking methods and techniques that have been transmitted from generation to generation. These practices usually include casserole dishes, which, as we know, demands less energy, usually very nutritious, use of olive oil usually. Keep juices of the recipe, they are very aromatic, and of course the use of less water to cook. And also very important for me, the food preservation methods such as fermentation, sun drying, preservation in brine or vinegar, in oil, honey, and the use of seasonal flavorings. These techniques help to minimize food waste and extend the shelf life of a product. And usually traditional cuisine food is not recycled, but used in ways that reduce waste. So we have many recipes for one product. So in other words, we have the product cooked fresh, utilizing almost all the product, but also the development of inventing natural preservation methods, which create the new products, also for having excellent taste and nutritional value.
Mm.
So there is a holistic approach to the use of the products and the leftovers, with the aim of minimizing waste and utilizing available resources. It's very important to rethink and reuse these methods and relearn, let's say, because we are losing the connection mainly we are losing it. We have to, in my opinion, we have to dive again into our tradition and see what we can keep and how it can help us and support us to create a new philosophy again in the gastronomy, a new ethos, as we say now, about how we think about gastronomy.
Yeah, and I think the key takeaway here, if like the global message is for chefs wherever they are in the world, is actually to look around them, look in their local area. What is the ingredients? What is in season? What are the traditional heritage recipes? And so get that inspiration from the local environment to innovate and continue to create, which is really can be adapted anywhere in the world, and take an inspiration from what you say. So what Evi,
Yes.
yeah, what is it? So I mean, yeah, you've done a lot of work on this, I know, and achieved a lot. So tell me, like what is the next for you in your phase of your career? What are you have any exciting future projects or things you're working towards?
Well, actually, I would be very happy to support you on this next program about life. Program was really interesting. I'm glad to
Wonderful.
hear, and I will be glad to contribute in any way. So I am a continuous learner as a person, and now I am finishing a master degree on the cultural gastronomy, actually, and the development of arts. But the art that interests me is the gastronomy. So this is my topic.
Mm,
And of course, because cultural gastronomy is sustainable, by definition, as I said, I'm very interested on the sustainability too. But what I am really going further on is that how this will be adapted and how this will be, how we are going to find the practical tools to reach the community, the professionals, but also the community, the young people, young generations, not only chefs, but also consumers or consumers who are going to cook at home and know how to evaluate the right products, tastings, organizing, let's say, actions that can promote the quality of the products, the value of the products, bringing also the producers into the scene. And this is the way I see and organize my further actions about this.
excellent. Which is very much a part of the life climate smart chefs, and so we'll be looking forward to working with you on all those issues. And I really want to thank you, Evi, for sharing your experience and insights. Uh, and yeah, we will be continuing this discussion. And hopefully we get a lot of chefs with us on board to participate, and exactly as you said, to become advocates and inspire the public, the young people to think and more sustainably and adapt, as you said, not to forget the history and heritage local cuisines.
Exactly, exactly. I'm very glad because it's a trip. It's a trip to start, never ends, and it's a really a joy to do this with other professionals that they are passionate about this. And that was really the program that it was the main thing that we were all really Alma program, the program, life program was really nice to feel that all participants were happy to do this and working together for this, which is it's really a community theme. It's important for everybody's lives, which is the way we have to see this.
Absolutely. Well, Evi, thank you very much for sharing that. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
For all those listening, thank you very much for following World Chef Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. And if you like the show, then please give us a like. If you want to know more about sustainable cuisine, don't forget to go to World Chef Academy. You can do the sustainability education by yourself online and get your certificate at the end. Also, look out for World Chefs Congress and Expo. Coming up in Wales in 2026. It's going to be in May 2026, but it's time to start to think about it now because we have a very special offer, the early bird rate. So you will save 200 euros if you book early, and we'll be actually talking about all the matters that are important to our industry, whether it's education, sustainability, young chef development, and what have you. So it's going to be exciting. So worldchefs.org, check out World Chef Congress as well. Thank you, Evi, again. Thank you, everybody, for listening. You're listening to World Chef Podcast. I'm your host, Ragnar Fridriksson, and this is World on a Plate. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the chance. All the best, and congratulations for this program. It's beautiful. Bravo.
Thank you, Evi. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.